Our class, welcome back to another session. In today's session, we'll be looking at a new topic, developing writing skills. So let's go back to the modules and try to open up the PowerPoint presentation. And the topic is developing writing skills. In this chapter, learning outcomes, you would be able to learn at the end of that. When you completed this chapter, use a dictionary and a thesaurus to select the corrected word, use spelling rules to improve your spelling, recognize and correct errors in thought units, write effective sentences and paragraphs, revise, edit, and proofread documents. The dictionary. Dictionaries provide the following word information. Like when we talk about writing, you should have ample amount of words to choose from when you want to express, when you want to write to your clients. Spelling, definition, capitalization, pronunciation, and synonyms as well. Synonyms are the words that have almost the same meaning as the entry. Dictionary provides other information as well, signs and symbols used in various fields of study. Handbook of style includes sections on rules of punctuation, italic, right, capitalization, plurals, citation of sources, and form of address. Now, thesaurus, when there is a general idea of the meaning someone wants to convey, a thesaurus provides specific words to express it. Now, when to use thesaurus, find the most suitable word, avoid overusing a word, and find the most specific word or replace an abstract term. In today's time, you can use electronic dictionary as well. I mean, your word processing programs have an electronic dictionary in thesaurus, like a Microsoft Word application. An electronic dictionary will indicate misspelled words. Most programs have an automatic correction feature, changing, the spelling TEH to THE automatically. I think you might have noticed when you type quickly on a Microsoft Word application, there is a red underline comes, and then automatically, if the option is autocorrect, it automatically changes to the appropriate words. To be effective and effective communicator, you must use the right word at the right time. Use words correctly, avoid excessive words, and predict how readers will interpret the words. It's an art. The more you write, the better writer you would be. The correct word, careful writers know the difference between correct and non-standard usage, right? Homonymous words are that look or sound like alike but have different meanings. They have given one example over here. The tenants of a large apartment building receive a letter urging all the residents to protest the proposed rent increase. There are different kind of the correct words. Good spelling shows readers the results of careful hard work. Using words effectively, words suited to the audience. Use non-technical terms like a jargon, do not use a jargon in writing to better hold the attention of the audience. So always should know who your audience are, do a research, and then, choose a word as per the level. Words with varying connotations. Now, the dictionary meaning of a word, the denotation is often different from its connotation, which is the meaning readers associate with the word based on their experience and emotions. Now, they have given, an example. A solitary person must be called a wallflower, or recluse, or a rugged individualist. So always use a connotation as per your reader's details. Now, what are the words to avoid? Negative words, right? Unnecessary words are a waste of the reader's time. Out of date words suggest the writer is behind the times. Replace overused words with a more exact, colorful terms. Um, like I said, always do research and try to update, yourself with the words, what is happening, the technology, what is being used in order to write your clients. These are the words like multi-syllabic syllabic words, committed, committing. Um, so always should have a dictionary, vocabulary in order to write a good. Choose a word from your dictionary and vocabulary. Use creativity to achieve variety. Choose a suitable synonyms in the most direct means to achieving variety in a vocabulary. An antonym is a word that means exactly the opposite of another word. For example, light is an antonym of a dark. Also formed by adding the prefixes like a nil, in, ir, non, and un before a word. Descriptive words make readers or listeners see what is described. Now, our building, for example, our building is well located and the apartments are comfortable. Our new high-rise building is located in a quiet, tree-lined street near the center of town. The apartments are spacious and equipped with all the latest modern conveniences. So see, there are two sentences where you conveyed the similar message, but in the first one, it's just easy to convey, right? Having less words, whereas the other one is more descriptive. So you have to be creative in order to write your words. Guides to correct spelling. One of the biggest problems when you start writing, there are softwares available. For example, the Microsoft Word has got a spell check. You can run that utility in order to address or correct your problems. Many common nouns end in Y, company, attorney, entry, supply, day. If the Y is preceded by a consonant, change Y to I and add ES. Company, companies, entry, entries. So basically, they're trying to tell the spelling back to your the plural, singular, plural things, where EI and IE words. Among the most frequent misspelled words are believe, conceive. These are the common words where you can make a mistake. So always run a spell check in order to correct your spelling. Guides to correct spelling. To spell the endings full, o, like continuous, o, us, ally, a, l, l, y, I, l, y correctly. The suffix full has only one, al, beautiful, careful, masterful, skillful. So these are the guides for correcting your spelling. Like I said previously, it's a practice, it's a vocabulary, a reading. The more you read it, you would have a better vocabulary, a words choices you would be able to incorporate in your writing. Doubling a final consonant, like these are the words, they try to give an example. If the vowel sound is long, do not double. If the vowel sound is short, double the final consonant. So this is an art, where you can develop those learning or writing skills. Dictionary alerts, even the best spellers need to use a dictionary. See, this is quite common. So nobody can say that I know all of the spelling. So always use a dictionary. Now, in today's time, you have spell check, you have Google, you can write down, and then the correct words would pop up. Words beginning, two pairs of prefixes. For example, permanent, surplus, purchase, service. These are the dictionary. Still, people are using it in order to avoid spelling mistakes. Words ending, they're talking about when the ending sound shus might be spelled, like ambition, collision, anxious. So giving you a lot of, things where you can improve your vocabulary and spelling. Again, same words ending. Business writers must take the time to learn the correct spellings of the words used most often in their written communications. So every time when you would be writing a letter to a client for the inquiry, or writing a report, submitting an essay for your assignments, always look for to correct spellings. Structuring your phrases and clauses. A combination of words that properly belong together is called a thought unit. Incorrect placement, misplaced adjective. So it's basically grammar, back to your old school, where the grammar, the punctuation, the capitalization was the key to begin up a thoughtful process of writing. Then you have a confusing pronoun references. What is a pronoun? A word used in a place of a noun. Each pronoun borrows its meaning from a noun. Now, for example, here they give us an example. Incorrect. They're saying Miss Reynolds asked Edina to write a report immediately after she returned from the regional sales meeting. So these are the incorrect. Now, incorrect again, using the pronoun it to refer to something not immediately clear is a common mistake. Now, I'll place the football in the kicking tee, and when I nod my head, kick it. So, common mistakes, right? Speakers uncertain of their sources use the vague words, like ambiguous words, which the listener do not know what to do, or the reader do not know what to do. Incorrect. They say that the joint venture between FedEx and the U.S. Postal Service will be launched early next year. So these are the common, confused, incorrect sentences or pronouns. Correcting this fault. Now look at that, the correct part over here, right? Incorrect was employees cannot find parking spaces. This has existed since we hired 50 new employees. Now, what would be the correct sentence for this? Employees cannot find parking spaces. This shortage of parking spaces has existed since we hired 50 new employees. See the incorrect and correct version of the sentences. Again, continuation of structuring phrases and clauses. They try to give us, like incorrect and correct part. Now, if you look at, the incorrect, our gallery has a book on important 19th century American paintings, which you can purchase for $19.95. Now, the correct, incorrect, incorrect. If not satisfied, we will refund your money. A who did what violation is sometimes called dangling modifier. Incorrect. Mr. Edwards saw the prospective customer leaving the stock room. Now, writing you attitude. Remember, we talked about in our first lecture, the you attitude puts your reader first. Talk about the benefits, their benefits. Now, you attitude, thank you for your interest in the product, like, Fiber Tech in corporation, for example. Using a negative word with you can result in a negative sentence. Now look at the negative sentence over here. You were not late in making deliveries last month. Now positive. You made all of your deliveries on schedule last month. See that, the positive? See the word not? We are taking not out, and we are putting in a positive way. Positive, negative, see the words are there, so you can always uh, have those vocabularies, right? Happy is a positive word, profit, success. Whereas, the negative words like sad, sorry, wrong, dishonest, always have these vocabulary available. Proper subordination of ideas. where main idea, main clause, subordinate idea, subordinate clause. Now they have given us, incorrect word with a correct sentence. Incorrect. Your proposal is interesting, although it doesn't meet our specifications. So this is like, the incorrect. The correct way of saying or writing that the proposal does not meet our specification, although we did find it interesting. So this is how you refuse, you come up with a negative, negative message, but in a positive way. When a sentence contains two ideas of equal importance, divide the sentence into two main clauses. For example, Jess will review the cost estimates and Maria will write the report. Again, these are the points over here where writers destroy proper subordination by writing the lesser ideas as an interrupting expression. They're giving us, these thoughtful ideas where you can avoid, those words or the two-word conjunction. For example, it is separate conjunction used for or way connection between two clauses. So this is incorrect way of writing a sentence, like Mr. Turner is a talented electronic publication specialist, and so we recommend that you hire him. Another thing to talk about, to remember in writing, active versus passive voice. Now, what is a voice? Voice is that property of a transitive verb that shows whether the subject acts or is acted upon. Now, passive, what is a passive? A program upgrade was sent to us by the company. Now, what is an active? The company sent us a program upgrade. So again, sometimes you decide as a writer to go for active voice or a passive voice. Now, what is a passive voice used in the business writing to soften the impact on negative news? So more often, the business, they use it passive voice. Now look at the active and the passive one of the example. Active: because the college didn't send us a copy of your transcript, we cannot consider your application to our program at this time. Now passive: your application to our program will be considered when a copy of your transcript is sent to us by the college. Another topic in continuation of that, parallel structure. Now what is parallel structure? Is a must for similar parts of sentence. For example, look at the parallel. The new assistant coordinator is eager, diligent, and knowledgeable. Where non-parallel, the new assistant coordinator is eager, diligent, and has much knowledge. So you always write and you come up with a plan, you come up with, alternative, good choices of words, and you write it down. Again, parallel structure, we talked about omission, right? Now, incorrect part: senior documentation writers must demonstrate expertise and knowledge of software programming. Now, the correct part is senior documentation writers must demonstrate expertise in and knowledge of software programming. See, avoid incomplete, elliptical, or elliptical clauses. Incorrect. Look at that. Did Mr. Chrisman pay the bill or his accountant? Correct. Did Mr. Chrisman pay the bill or did his accountant pay it? See the question mark you're asking. You want to confirm whether that has been done. Incorrect and a correct. You're responsible for researching the data. Now you're responsible for researching the data, analyzing the analysis or analyzing the problem, the formatting the report. See, there are two ways you can write it down. The correct way, we look into it and try to adapt it. Now, one of the main points to remember in effective writing is effective paragraph. Your message, one purpose; your paragraph, one main idea; and sentence, one main thought. So limit written communication to one main purpose. Do not try to write too much subjects, too much happening, the problems you're discussing, because it would deviate, the reader's attention. The paragraph control. The main idea of a paragraph is stated in the topic sentence. Paragraph unity, traditional words, process. Now look at that, writers use traditional words and phrases, provide connections between sentences and between paragraphs. Then we have paragraph decisions. Now, content determines paragraph length, right? Your content, for example, again, whatever you want to write to and whoever you want to write to, always write it down, the main points, and come up with a paragraph length. And they're talking about here, keep the first and last paragraph short, usually 2 to 5 lines each. Keep middle paragraphs in an average of 4 to 8 lines in length, and make them longer than the first and last paragraphs. Now combine several short paragraphs to avoid choppy appearances. And then avoid writing several long paragraphs. Avoid a top-heavy appearance or bottom-heavy appearance. Use an odd number of paragraphs. Sentence control, readability. The more you read it, once you have written down your writing, then if you read it, you would know exactly, is it making sense, or you need to change the word, you need to bring this idea to the later part. It would give you a sense if you put yourself in a reader's perspective. Revising, edit, and proofreading, always important thing. You always read. The more you read it, the more you know where you need to change, and you correct it. Proofreaders marks include marks for capitalization changes and transpositions, deletions, and insertions. And I think thanks to the technology in these days, thanks to the applications like a Word and other, Grammarly, these apps, they help you, they give you a alternative of a long sentence to the better choices. Revising, what is revising? Revising is a process of seeing again. The more you see it, then you would know, is it logical? Do all sentences stick to the point? Are transitions used to connect ideas? Review the language right. Grammar Checker is software that evaluates grammar and suggests ways to improve the grammar and wording of a document. Same as I pointed out, Grammarly in these days, a lot of people, they are using it. What is editing? Editing is the process of checking a revised draft to make sure it meets the criteria of the 6 C's of communication. If you recall, our first lecture, it was, the 6 C's were clear, concise, courteous. These C's, you need to use it in your communication. Sometimes you use it all, sometimes you use it few. The purpose of editing is to make the documents as effective as possible. See that? The clear, 6 C's, right? Complete, concise, consistent, correct, and courteous. Now, what is proofreading? Proofreading is the process of examining a document to find errors that need correction. Business writers are responsible for the quality of the communication, no matter who prepares the final document. So, this is always good. Technology offers some assistance, but spell checkers will not locate a missing word or misused word if spelled correctly. Now, proofreading, autocorrect, autocomplete, the technology brings 2 new categories of errors when using the autocorrect feature and the autocomplete feature. Then we have multi-syllabic words right here, and then positive, negative. So positive, negatives include advancement, agreeable, and negative words include anxious, apologize. So always try to look for the positive words as a vocabulary, where you would be, in a position to better impress your reader. So that's it for this learning, where we talked about how you can improve your writing, And then the words, positive words, avoid negative words. This is developing writing skills, sharpening your writing skills. So I hope to see you in our next lecture. To go through the content, and if you have any question, just we can discuss in our live sessions, or you would be able to write in the discussion here on Canvas LMS. I would be happy to get back to you on that. So I hope you have enjoyed, have learned sharpening writing skills. The topic more beneficial and quite useful or helpful. And I'll see you in my next topic. Bye for now.